This is Sarah Jakes Roberts, and I want you to join me behind the scenes at Woman Thou Art Loose Masterclass. That's right, Woman Evolve is coming to the Masterclass, and I want to bring you all of the things you did not see this week. So this week has been something I've been looking forward to for a very long time. This year has been an incredible year of just firsts for me. And so this would be my first time speaking at Woman Thou Art Loose as a main speaker. So Woman Thou Art Loose Masterclass has a special place in my heart, not just because this conference has been going on almost as long as I have been alive, but because it was at Woman Thou Art Loose in 2011 where this girl who said she would never grab the microphone, never be a preacher, accepted the request of the Woman Thou Art Loose team to introduce my father. So it's 2011, and they just asked me to introduce him. And, at first I told them no, just because I've always been kind of naturally shy and just didn't want to do anything that looked like ministry. But I had come such a long way in writing my blog and sharing my story that I just decided to say yes. Isn't it crazy how sometimes we say yes to something before we really understand who we're going to have to become to manifest that yes? I said yes, and I took the stage, and I was nervous. My voice is trembling if you've ever seen that video. But I introduced my father, and I shared with the world for the very first time that I got pregnant as a teenager and that my father's ministry ultimately loosed me from the shame of my past. And so here we are 7 years later, and that girl who said she'd never be in ministry is now one of the main speakers at Woman Thou Art Loose. You have to know something about my dad. He would not just put me up to be the main speaker because I'm his daughter. He has to see something in the speakers that he believes is going to edify the conference guest. And so I accepted, and here we are. And I couldn't do this without the Woman Evolve delegation with me because I just feel so connected to you all, my sisters in my head. And so come on, we're going to hang out. Thursday night, and it is time for the opening night of Woman Thou Art Loose Masterclass.
How's everybody?
We want you to share all of your amazing experiences.
And so my father is opening it up, and Bishop Jakes is just he's the GOAT. He's the greatest to ever do it. And so I'm always excited to hear him speak. And I get to open up the night with my mom and my sister, which is just, I don't know, that is incredible.
When we started Woman Thou Art Loose, these were little ankle biters.
Listen, it is not just all of you. Give yourselves a hand that you're in the room.
You're going to be moved as only the power of God can do. Nobody like you, nobody. I'll never leave you, and I'll never forsake you. That's the kind of God. Pray, somebody say something. Because I feel like
the Spirit of the Lord declares in the room tonight that God is going to activate you. Don't get happy. There is pain that comes with activation. There is stretching that comes with activation. So you may have come here to be activated, but I want you to know you're going to be stretched. You're going to go through some pain. It's going to hurt. But look at your neighbor and say, it's time to push, baby. God has something in store for your business. God has something in store for your ministry.
We talked about structure. Let's talk about sustainability. If it's not sustainable, Toys R Us. If it's not sustainable, Blockbusters. Success is not valuable without sustainability. And in order to be sustainable, you have to have sensitivity. Because what was successful in one season is not sustainable in the next season. What was a successful business, Blockbusters, was not sustainable because the trend changed.
Let me tell you what the bishop said, okay? The bishop basically talked about how women are incubators, and incubators are what they use to help babies continue to develop. And so a woman is an incubator, and you have to be careful. I think what stood out to me the most was that you just have to be careful what you incubate, because a lot of times I am guilty of incubating my fears and insecurities and worry.
Here's the scary thing about women, is living with the fear that it won't last. And it takes a while for you to get that out of your womb. Suppose it won't last.
We had this moment in service where we got to just release things that we have been incubating so that we can make room for what God wants to incubate within us. And I just released all of my fear about speaking, all of my insecurities, all of my second guessing and doubting.
That's why you don't have to compete with nobody. Because nobody is going to birth what you're going to birth, because what you're going to birth is going to be a reflection of the person who pushed it out. In fact, this thing looks like me. It's got the same DNA in it. I got CEOs in the same room with producers and actresses and writers and preachers and prophets and prophetess. You know why that's out there? Because that's in here. Everything out there. Success is getting what you see on the inside to manifest on the outside. I don't care if that's a hair care supply place. I don't care if that's Joseph's Cakes and Cupcakes. I don't care. Whatever it is that you see on the inside that wakes you up at night, you can't rest because you're so pregnant with it. And everything that you've been carrying too long, everything that's been haunting you in your sleep, every dream that won't go away, every business that you tried and failed and tried and failed, you get ready to have self this time. You get ready to deliver that dream in your life. Squeeze your hand. The anointing is in this room.
I want to make sure that I have a healthy womb for my destiny to live in, and that I'm not putting other things that are going to be toxic that could abort what God placed down on the inside of me. So I enjoyed Thursday night tremendously.